Should girls ask guys out on a date? Well, we wouldn't be here if I didn't.
We wouldn't be here if Jackie didn't sit me down and
ask the question like, what's going on here? Hey, we're Jackie and Bobby with Ascension Presents, and one question I get a lot is, should girls ask guys out? So I could have done this video by myself, but I like having a guy's perspective too. You know, if you're looking for scripture verses or catechism references on should girls ask guys out, you're not going to find it.
This isn't really a moral issue. This is more of a different, like, from culture to culture and society, different norms that take place and they shift. And I think traditionally, at least in the West, it was incumbent on the man to ask the woman out as a sign of initiation, and it's kind of like the man assumes the risk. And some of that, again, is changed, and I think it's fine. It's, again, kind of morally neutral. I think in particular, like, men are sometimes aloof. We don't get the signals. We don't get, like, the dynamics of what's happening.
I will say there are different levels of relationships. So let's take the friendship. If you are friends with a dude, so I'm talking to the ladies, if you're friends with a guy and you like him and he's not doing anything. I had a friend like this, and she's like, should I say something? I was like, well, the thing is, you guys are friends and you know each other pretty well. And at this point, if he hasn't initiated something, he probably doesn't want.
He's just not that into you.
There was a book and a movie called He's Just Not That Into You. And again, when you're friends and you've spent a lot of time in groups or with each other and he hasn't initiated, that might be a sign he's not into you. But, you know, I told my friend, I said, well, there's no harm in asking, like, hey, you know, could we be more than friends, or could we go on a date? And again, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to work out, and it didn't, because he didn't feel the same way she did. So, but again, there's no problem with asking if you're really, because I think for women, like, it's good to know so we can, like, get over it, so we can move on.
Yeah, you want clarity.
Yeah, you want clarity and closure, so then you can move on. And again, men do that too. You can ask that in a relationship too, like, could I take you on a date? Could we be more than friends? And if the girl's like, no, I don't see us like that, then again, you can move on. Now, there's a different situation. Say you're young adults and you meet in a young adult setting, you know, a group gathering at a friend's house, a friend's party, whatever. Yeah, ladies, you can initiate. You could say, hey, you know, what's your name? You could start talking to the dude and say, hey, would you want to grab some coffee later? You know, it's fine to initiate, because if you may never see that person again. That guy may be aloof. He may have not even really seen you. Maybe he's with this group of people, but you're like, dude, that guy is attractive. You know, there's no problem in taking the initiative. I mean, there's so many ways to meet. There's online dating where the girl, you can send him an emoji, you know, wink, wink, smile, smile. I think guys appreciate, right? Guys appreciate when a girl at least, like, you know, makes some kind of, like, allows you to know something.
Sure. And I think too, like, the times have gotten stranger in the sense of, like, how do I pursue a woman not in a creepy way? Like, even that language, to pursue a woman, is even problematic.
Right. Can I have your consent to pursue you? Is that okay?
Right. So we don't really know how to do it anymore. So I think it's fine, again, for the woman to show interest, because then the guy kind of gets the all clear. Okay, I can. And if we're gelling on a date, then again, it is in the man's corner to continue the conversation. I would really like to do this again. I would really like to see you again.
Yeah. And
because, again, sometimes men, we're aloof. We're not getting the signals.
And I think when it comes to dating, it always needs to be clear that you're not just hanging out.
Right.
People need to know the intention. So, ladies, if you ask a guy for coffee and then you ask again, it needs to be clear that this is a date and there's a purpose here, and that, like, yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not so interested.
Because otherwise we ride that casual, just hanging out train for way too long.
And we don't want that. Again, we need to be clear, have intentions, say the word date. And yeah, I always tell the ladies, like, if the guy doesn't pursue you after that, I don't think he's worth being your husband, because that's the purpose of dating, is to find your spouse. But I would never, ever have wanted a guy who I was pursuing, like, who didn't pursue me.
Or you were having to drag the relationship.
Yeah, like, no way. I don't want to be the one chasing him down. You know, it should be a mutual thing.
Right.
And you know, from the guy's perspective, like, when you are interested in a gal, you will absolutely do everything you can. So ladies, I always say don't settle, because when a guy really likes you, when he wants to marry you, he will drive across the country. He will do anything he can to be with you, because I feel like women, we always we start rationalizing that. So again, I think that's where this comes from. It's like, should girls ask guys on a date? Should gals ask guys on a date? Because so many times we're afraid that a guy's not going to pursue us. Like, well, maybe I should do it. Again, it's fine to show interest. It's fine to, again, if you just meet, it depends on the situation, really.
There's a lot of variables. So.
Yeah, tons of variables. But yeah, I mean, let a guy know you're interested. That's totally fine. I think that helps the guys too. Like, oh, thank God. Because maybe he is interested and he doesn't think you are. And you show interest. He's like, oh, thank God. I really like her. She's beautiful. Because you are. You're a queen. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.